Alright guys, welcome to another beer review, and today we're going over back to the wonderful folks at Verdant and having a look at a can of Putty. This is the first batch of 2019. I know they've done this in the past, and both this batch and the previous batch both released to high acclaim, as one would expect with Verdant. And yeah, so got this actually, funny enough, from the latest Mikkeller Beer Club box, because I couldn't get hold of this in time, and heard a lot of good things about this current batch that I'll be looking at. But yeah, Verdant, yet to have a boring beer by Verdant, let alone a bad beer by Verdant. So yeah, very excited to give this a try. Was initially going to hold on to this for when I was meeting up with a few friends in Birmingham, but yes, I'm not wearing any pants. But yeah, it's currently my 30th birthday as I'm recording this, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to be a selfish prick, and I'm going to enjoy this beer all to myself. So yeah, this is a double IPA clocking in at 8% ABV, 440ml bottle. Of course, phone goes off as soon as I'm recording, even though it's been silent for about 2 hours. So yeah, malts are Golden Promise, wheat, oats, flaked wheat. Hops are Mosaic, Galaxy, and Atzaka. Or is that Atzaka or Atzacha? I'm not too sure. Yeast is London Ale Free. I don't know if I can read that writing and the description of the beer itself, because that is very small, and for some reason my eyesight is going quite bad. But anyway, I'm sure you'll have already tried this by now, so you'll probably have read that yourself. Let me just see. Floating mangoes, huge apricot, high-end grass dippings, and melon sorbet. See, I think those are some quotes from the likes of Matt from Massive Beer Reviews and Pete from Master of Hoppets, who've been immortalised in the blurb on the beer with some weird and wonderful tasting notes. This beer has density and hop saturation that we're really proud of. I sound like I can't read. There's always that one kid in school who's just absolutely terrible at reading, even though by that age they should have developed a lot more. But let's not insult children who have complexes. But anyway, and we hope you enjoy drinking it as much as we enjoyed making it for you. Up the Putty. But yeah, underdeveloped children aside, and some horrific reading there, I'm very excited to try this beer out, because I've heard a lot of good things about it. And of course, as it is from the Mikkeller Beer Club box, because I'm a shill, I'm going to put that referral link down below, because if they can get hold of Verdant, and they've had hold of Alchemist, Bearded Iris, so many weird and wonderful beers and breweries from around the world, highly recommended you give it a try. Anyway, so enough waffling. Let's get this beer poured and see what we get. I still can't believe how awful my reading of that small paragraph of text was, and my insensitive joke about children who are mentally impaired. But when you're in school, it was funny at the time. Do you know what I mean? I'm much more mature now, and I do understand the seriousness of what a good education. And oh my word, look at that beer. That looks absolutely marvellous. It looks like some sort of peach compote someone's put in a beer glass as a cruel joke. That is just dense, it's turbid, it's like the thickest chicken stock you will ever see. Yeah, that just, it looks like you could literally chew big chunks out of it. Or when you put your finger in, it would leave a dent. Do you know what I mean? It just looks so dense and thick and chewy. Absolutely wonderful. With about one finger's worth of a lovely white head. Yeah, it looks just as good on camera as it does in person. That's absolutely insane. It really, really is. Anyway, let's see what we get on the nose. And see, what I like about this is it's not in your face. It's not overtly pungent. There isn't like one big domineering flavour backed up with any other aromas. It's just got a lovely presence in general, but it's so well balanced on the nose. It really, really is. It's all the mango, it's all those tropical fruits. It's every sort of luxury jam or compote you could think of. A little bit of spiciness there. Very subtle, sweet citrus tones. Lovely hit of grapefruit. It's, you know, that typical breakfast juice blend in a glass. It just smells like it's actual fruit. It's insane. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. That's good. It is so dense in the mouthfeel. It's like you've had a piece of solid food in your mouth and the warmth of the inside of your mouth has melted it on your tongue. That's the body of this beer. There's quite a prominent spicy tone in this beer. Almost like a pepperiness. Or what's that herb that's quite peppery? I don't think it's coriander. Rocket. Is it rocket? That's in a lot of Italian food. Yeah, it's reminding me of like rocket leaves. Because it is quite a herbal beer, it has to be said. If you don't like herbally hop profile beers, then you might not like this one, because it does have that slight medicinal flavour to it, and that greenness from the hops. Not green as in harsh, this beer's way too young, was pushed out way too quickly sort of way, but green as in, like, you could still taste the vegetative aspects of the hops. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't leave any sort of like unsettling or unsatisfying flavours or aftertastes. I think with these beers, you get that initial hit, but as the beer sort of not necessarily warms up in the glass, but sort of aerates, because it has been in a can for a little while, even though this is a relatively fresh can as of the time of me reviewing this beer. I think the more I drink this, the less that sort of like herbal greenness will come into play, and I think it'll just smoothen out a little bit, because it's so smooth. It's so silky smooth. No domineering sort of like hop flavour in there. It's just a balance of a little bit of citrus, a little bit of herbal, quite a bit of tropical, but doesn't get too sweet. It's got the right amount of bitterness on the back end, which I do appreciate. I mean, do I think it lives up to the hype? Yeah, it does. It's a wonderful beer once again from Verdant. Is it my favourite beer that I've had from Verdant? I don't think so, because there's stiff competition just from one brewery alone to compare it to other beers that they've done. But yeah, I could definitely see the hype with this one. And do you know what? The artwork and the images you see on the label sort of reflect the flavours in the beer, actually. But yeah, it's, for a double IPA, it's drinking so smooth. It's crushable as anything, and you're going to drink this way too quickly. And yeah, I think it's a lovely little beer. It really, really is. The more I'm drinking it, the more I'm enjoying it, actually. In terms of a rating then on this version of Putty, I'm going to give it... There's something stopping me from giving it a 10 out of 10. And I think it's that slightly herbal edge. The one thing I will say about it is, because there are so many breweries making this beer, it's a fine example of the style. It's wonderful. It's as exemplary as you would expect from Verdant. But there's nothing really too exciting or unique about it. Not that it needs to be, of course. But this is on the same day that I reviewed the Michael Jackson from Mikkeller San Diego, which I did give a 10 out of 10 because it was what you expect from New England IPA, but it just had this sort of like unique plot twist at the end of the beer that just made it stand out. This, it stands with its head held up high, with its arms like this, just basking in the glory of inferior double IPAs. But I think because there's so many beers like this, it's hard to give this style of beer a 10 out of 10 unless it does something specifically to your own taste buds. And this is, don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? Even a 9 out of 10 is try this beer immediately if you can. Don't get me wrong, it's almost a world-class beer. But there's just something, it doesn't feel right to say that this is a 10 out of 10 beer. I think the hype is, it's justified, but it might be a little bit overkill for me personally. And I'm finding that a lot with some of these beers. Am I glad that I got to try it? Fuck yes. I thought I'd completely missed out on this beer. Can I see why people are saying this is the best beer that they've had from Verdant? Again, in that same breath, I can. I could totally see that. But I know that Verdant will produce so many wonderful beers throughout this year. So, you know, they don't need to worry. And, yeah, where the fuck am I going with this? I don't know. In a nutshell, 9 out of 10 for me. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful little beer. Well, I say little, it's 8%, but it's drinking like a little beer. Although it's got the beautiful body. The body on this is fantastic. I'd say that's probably actually my favourite part of the beer, to be honest. You can almost chew it. You really can. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for Putty. If you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. Am I insane for not giving this 10 out of 10 when I'm somewhat known for giving beers 10 out of 10 quite liberally? But yeah, it's just... I don't know, why am I justifying a 9 out of 10 as if it's a negative thing? Do you know what I mean? I just think there's so many beers like this that it's hard for beers to like be prominent and in your face. And Verdant should be, and I know they definitely are, proud of this beer. And they're a brewery that I can depend on. I've yet to have even a bad experience from them. You know, they're up there for me with Cloudwater, Dare, Northern Monk. They're one of my favourite breweries. And they're a brewery that I don't try and get every release because I like to have that special feeling when I try one of their beers. Do you know what I mean? How weird is that? Such a weird way to look at things. But anyway. Yeah, 9 out of 10. Check out Verdant. Check out the Mikkeller Beer Club referral link down below. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are down below. I'm currently stroking my testicles as I'm recording this. That's very odd. But yeah, if you tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not. Or am I? Maybe I've just got my dick out. I don't. You don't know because you can't see what's happening underneath. Unless you subscribe to my premium Snapchat. Could you imagine that? How disgusting would that be? And how disgusted would the people who subscribe and pay for that? I should try that just to see if people would actually pay to see me doing naughty things on a private Snapchat. It would include beer, of course. Anyway, what am I talking about? This is ridiculous. If any of my friends and fellow beer tubers have reviewed this, then their links will be down below. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers.